Check 1, 2. It works. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Chris, aka Barnum11970. Thank you, as always, for taking the time to visit my channel. And to be honest, I'm very glad the events that have happened the past couple of days have happened, because the more you get presented things in life, the more you can understand things and put things in better perspective. And this whole situation has shown me how quick people are ready to turn on an instant on anything. How there's a lot of judgment in this world. There's a lot of anger. I've noticed that. To the point where Peter Schiff himself actually commented and made kind of a sarcastic and facetious type of comment, and based it on assumption on one video instead of checking that my channel is actually dedicated to a lot of the things he speaks about. Although I don't agree with fracking, and I definitely don't believe in bitcoins, even if somebody else was selling them to turn them into cash to get to me. I wouldn't be talking about that. I mean, what somebody else does with their own business that I don't know about, obviously I have no control over. But I'm not going to be all of a sudden, like, for example, with my organic soaps and stuff. First of all, I teach people how to make them so they can do it on their own and be independent for themselves. But for people who want to get them from me, I'll be more than happy to accept gold and silver for it. But I will never accept bitcoins for them. I will never open up a Bitcoin exchange. Now, if somebody had bitcoins that I wasn't aware of and they turned them into cash and then bought something through me, I mean, obviously I have no control over that. But I'm not going to say now accepting bitcoins through BitPay, because I don't believe in bitcoins, which means I don't want to be associated with them, even indirectly. But here's the thing that I'm glad this is presenting itself, because I've noticed that people are so set in their ways to the point where they are so inflexible that if you even mention something that they don't agree with, all of a sudden people will hate you and attack you, ridicule you, make assumptions, make lies, exaggerate the truth. It's almost like, I mean, think about when buildings are made and they make them out of steel. They could not make the steel so rigid that the building doesn't move. There's a reason why buildings sway. Because it's all about physics. It's all about absorption of energy. So this way, if there's, for example, a hurricane or even just a high wind, it doesn't make the building topple over. So you have to have flexibility. And that's why you see trees during a hurricane, they may rock back and forth and look scary, but what that does is absorbs a lot of the shock and a lot of the pressure and it scatters it throughout the tree, so it's an equal distribution of the energy, and it keeps it from falling down. So in other words, flexibility is what creates survival in this world. And I see so many people, it's almost like DJing in a way. Like, I've had this experience, and I know DJs, if you're a DJ, you've experienced this before, where you could play 3 hours worth of nonstop great music, where everybody's dancing, having a great time, they're loving it, and you play one song that they don't like. All of a sudden, they go from having a great time, oh, what is this? This DJ sucks, and I can't believe he's playing this song, and oh, this. Change in an instant. And the last time I checked, in this world, aren't we entitled to have individual opinions? Because when I made my comment on Peter Schiff's channel, like so many people make comments on mine, I didn't make fun of them. I didn't say, oh, you're an idiot. I didn't make up lies. I may have made a sarcastic comment using the newspaper thing. But I basically said that I did not agree, I was disappointed, and I am unsubscribing from his channel. No, I wish him to burn in hell. No making up lies. No cursing him out. Just voicing my opinion. And to see the response that I've gotten from that is absolutely amazing. How can anybody follow anybody blindly to the point where, unless you work for the person and getting paid to do it, to follow him so blindly where it doesn't mean a thing what he does, whether he fails or succeeds, or anybody in this world. And that's why I've always said, and the one thing I always appreciated about Chris Duane, another person I no longer listen to, is that he gave out great information, but then it got tainted. And one of the things he said was, listen to all and follow none. And I think that's one of the best lines that I've heard from somebody on YouTube that stuck with me. And I thoroughly agree with that. But to chastise and try and hurt people because their views might change, or they have a different point of view than you, is the sole basis of why there's so much corruption in this world, why there are so many wars, why there is so much hatred and separation and bigotry. Well, I don't like you because you pray to a different God, or I don't like you because your skin is a different color, or I don't like you because you like the same sex. Instead of people saying, you have the right to your own religion, you have the right to date whoever you want. Where's the tolerance? Where's the love? Where's the appreciation? But yet, even somebody like Peter Schiff, who's supposed to be above the petty stuff, I mean, I expect it from the trolls. But for somebody that's supposed to be on the news all the time and going on mainstream media all the time to promote his business, because let's face it, that's what these people do. Plain and simple, they can say whatever they want. It's a business, and their business is to make as much profit as they can. Because if you have any kind of stocks in your company, you have investors that you have to answer to. And unfortunately, there's a lot of corruption in that. I used to deal in sales. I was an incredibly good salesman. I made more money than I knew what to do with back then. And that was actually when I was the least happy. And I could pretty much buy anything I wanted. Like back in 2003, I bought my car brand new. I paid for it cash. And when they tried to, when I went to buy it with a deposit, and they said they were going to charge me like 17% interest, I said, I'll be back. And the next day, I put down $20,000 in cash. And I did it sarcastically in $20 bills. And it took them over an hour to count it. And I went back the next day and I put $20,000 in cash and $20 bills on the table and said, I'll take it cash. So I used to make a lot of money, but I wasn't happy. And I'm glad I'm in the situations I'm in now. I might not be successful in the sense of a monetary value, but I'm happier, I'm healthier than I've ever been. And despite all the things, the little bumps in the road, I see them as educational tools. So when I see all this negative stuff coming my way, I see it as, why is it being presented to me and what can I learn from it? In other words, turning lemonade from lemon. But the hatred I see in people, to follow anyone so blindly, is a very dangerous thing. I mean, unless you're profiting from the person and you work for him, or anyone. And I'm not just saying Peter Schiff himself. But I had a disagreement with this person based on a lot of different things, not just the Bitcoins. That was the final nail in the coffin. The fact that he interrupts every interview, he doesn't let anybody else speak, he overpowers people all the time, he interrupts and don't let the other side speak. I always had a problem with that, but I kept listening. His fracking business, which is one of the things that is destroying people's public drinking water, which he doesn't seem to have a problem with because he's making a profit. I had a problem with that, but I still listened. This one, going from I'll never accept Bitcoins to now indirectly accepting them, because he's not accepting them himself. I'm very aware of that. So him sarcastically pointing that out and trying to educate me was a little facetious and a little condescending. But that's fine. If he thinks I'm one of the sheeple that doesn't know what's going on, that's perfectly fine to make that assumption. But his assumption was just that, an assume. And you know what assuming does. I won't say it because some people might be offended if I say one bad word. So I'll keep it rated G. But if you're going to go through life being so quick to turn on people, then don't question me. Question yourself. Because I may get aggravated every now and then. I may get flustered or sensitive or anything like that. But that's not how my life is. I deal with stuff and I move on and get past it and I learn from it, which makes me a better person because I grow. And that's what I try and instill in my subscribers, in people, to say, don't look at failure as a negative thing. Look at it as somebody loving you so much that they're trying to show you what not to do anymore. And don't be angry or depressed or frustrated. Be inspired. A dead end is only a problem if you continue to walk into this wall. All you have to do is turn around and go in another direction, and you now know I don't have to take that path anymore. But the anger and the hatred is just unfathomable for me. And in a way, I'm very glad. Maybe life is showing me all this to remind me of how I should be happy that I am not that way. Of course I get angry. Of course I get upset, even depressed or upset or even sad. But I never harp on it anymore like I used to. When I was making all that money and I was buying anything I wanted, I was miserable. I was angry. I didn't have direction. You ever hear the expression that money is the root of all evil? Gee, I wonder why. And there are some people that are so willing to go on top and top and make all of this money and sacrifice so much of their lives and their soul, selling their soul, that they don't realize what it's damaging themselves with. If that's your meaning of success, then I'm glad I'm not successful. Not at least in that way. I have a family who loves me. I have friends that care. I have my life under control. It may not be perfect, but at least I organize it. I control it. And I don't live in fear. And I will not be intimidated by anybody, including somebody like Peter Schiff or anybody that wanted to come to my channel. If you ever wanted to have a decent human being one-on-one conversation, I'm all for it. I won't be nervous or scared or worried about it. It's just another human being. Some of you need to realize that. Don't follow anybody blindly. Because a lot of times you'll be led in places you don't want to end up. And they take advantage of people. And that's why for thousands of years we've been led, and we defend and applaud them instead of stopping them. It's a shame. Thanks for watching, guys. I enjoy all the comments that I'm going to see. And yes, all of my ratings have been disabled for the past week and a half. So I didn't do it just for one video because I didn't want to hear it. I got tired of people having 40 thumbs down in 2 seconds after a 30-minute video was created. And there'd be people that are just putting their multiple channels just to thumb down a video. I stopped that. So if people don't like it, hey, you know what? There's so many other channels on YouTube. You'll have so much a better time if all I do is anger you and stress you out. So you're either here because you like me, or you're here for the drama. If you're here for the drama, that says more about you than me, because you're seeking me out, not the other way around. So with that, have a great day, and don't forget to have your trolls spayed or neutered. Enjoy your day. Peace.